Short answer is any single player game. Longer answer, and I guess fuller answer, is essentially any game except with certain games that use kernel level anti-cheat. Again, certain games that use kernel level anti-cheat will still work on Linux without issues, or so I am told. I personally do not use kernel level anti-cheat, and I do not play any game that uses kernel level anti-cheat because I think it is stupid. But essentially, certain games that use kernel level cannot work on Linux. They just are not supported on Linux yet. Again, it's just the reality of the situation. And if you are interested in those multiplayer games with kernel level anti-cheat systems, then you have to verify that specific game whether it is supported on Linux or not. So for example, I think games like Riot's games like League of Legends and whatever other games they have do not work on Linux. Riot simply doesn't support this platform. If we are talking about something like, I don't know, Arc Raiders or something, again, I hear that it does work without issues. Something like Marvel Rivals or whatever works without issues. So you can play anything on Linux without issues. I personally use Bottles to play my games, but you can use Steam, you can use whatever you want. So it's really all up to you. Gaming on Linux is super easy. It's essentially 1 or 2 clicks away always. And there's no issue. Unless there is anti-cheat, kernel level anti-cheat. And speaking of this, honestly, I think we as gamers, we should push back. Because for example, personally, I want to try out Arc Raiders. I hear a lot about it. The game looks fun, but I hear that it uses kernel level anti-cheat. And to me, that is immediate no-no. Like, it is just bad. No kernel level anti-cheat should be on your system. Nothing kernel level should be on your system besides your system, right? So again, I think this is not even a discussion of whether Linux can play certain games, because it is not a discussion anymore. Linux can play any game you want, essentially. Maybe 10 years ago, what games Linux can actually run would be a legitimate question. Now it isn't really. It's just a question of which multiplayer games are supported. So basically, yeah. But then again, why the hell would we want kernel level anti-cheat on our system to begin with? Like, I don't know. This is just really, really frustrating. So, to reiterate, we should get rid of kernel level anti-cheats altogether, and essentially any game, especially if you're playing single player games, any game runs without issues, the same on Windows, or most of the times somewhat better than on Windows, because Linux Mint, I can only speak for Mint, simply works better. And it's lighter, it's faster, so games also kind of run better, usually, at least for me, because my system or my computer has more resources, because OS doesn't stand in the way. And then again, this is not like some propaganda for Linux. I honestly do not give a flying crap about what system you use. You want to use Windows, use Windows. You want to use Linux, amazing, welcome. You want to use your freaking Slipper OS to play your games, be my guest. This is more of a frustration about anti-cheat, right? To begin with, there should be a discussion why the hell people cheat in the game to begin with, but people are dumb. Some people are, anyways. But still, we should not accept kernel level anti-cheats. We just shouldn't. This phrase triggers me the hell. Like, so basically, let's push back against it, and you can play any game on Linux. Goodbye. And I fumbled this.